of the podium for me, please, as well. Thank you. Appreciate that. Well, good afternoon to everybody, and as always, thank you for taking the time to come out and cover what I believe to be a very important story, specifically at this time of the year. I am here to discuss the details surrounding the robbery and murder of Mr. Nicholas Sambolin, who was a 42-year-old resident of San Dimas. On Tuesday, November 28th, 2023, at approximately 6:55 p.m., Mr. Sambolin arrived home on the 1800 block of Hallbrook Drive in the city of San Dimas. He then parked his vehicle in his garage when a suspect, who has now been identified as Jared Joseph Powell, a 33-year-old male from the city of Los Angeles, entered the garage and robbed the victim of some personal belongings. Upon taking the personal belongings, the suspect senselessly shot the victim and fled the crime scene. A relative of the victim found him unresponsive in the garage and called 911. Deputies from the San Dimas Sheriff's Station responded along with members of the Los Angeles County Fire Department and learned that the victim suffered from a gunshot wound to his upper body. Despite the fire department's best efforts to treat the victim for the gunshot wound, regrettably, he succumbed to his injury. Detectives from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department Homicide Bureau responded to the scene and took control of the investigation. Homicide detectives processed the crime scene, collected evidence, and canvassed the area for surveillance footage and potential witnesses. After the exhaustive investigation, homicide detectives obtained surveillance footage that revealed the victim was likely followed home from an electronic vehicle charging station located in the 200 block of South Citrus Street in the city of West Covina. Homicide detectives were able to identify a vehicle of interest from surveillance footage that led to the identity of our suspect. They entered the suspect vehicle into the law enforcement database as a wanted, armed, and dangerous vehicle. Officers from the Beverly Hills Police Department located the suspect vehicle last night near the intersection of Santa Monica Boulevard and Rexford Drive in the city of Beverly Hills. A traffic stop of the suspect vehicle was conducted, and Jared Joseph Powell was located as the sole occupant of this vehicle. During a search of the vehicle, a firearm was found. Homicide detectives believe the gun that was recovered in the suspect's vehicle was likely used in the robbery murder. However, I want to stress this, that we still need to do a ballistic examination of that firearm to make sure that that firearm is directly connected. So that will be performed. Beverly Hills Police Department transferred the suspect to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, where he was booked for robbery and murder. It appears that the robbery and senseless murder was an isolated incident, and there has been no evidence to indicate that the suspect acted in concert with others. However, and I do stress, however, homicide detectives have not ruled out that possibility. It does not appear that the victim's employment played a factor in the murder. The investigation is still ongoing. Detectives are still combing through evidence and analyzing footage. So there's still a lot of information that our investigators need to look through, speak to witnesses, so on and so forth. So I know there'll be questions. At the end of this, I'll take as many questions as I can, but please keep in mind that there are just things we just don't know yet. And there are some other factors, because at the end of the day, the arrest is only one part of this. We have to prosecute this individual to the full extent of the law, and that will be our priority, our next priority. We still have to file the case with the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office and need to maintain the integrity of this investigation. The case will be presented to the DA's office for filing consideration on Monday, December the 4th. I would like to take a couple of seconds to thank the members of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department Operation Safe Streets Bureau, Fraud and Cyber Crimes Bureau, the San Dimas Station, the Body Worn Camera Unit, Homicide Bureau, specifically Detectives John Carlin and Maria Massel, and our partners at the Beverly Hills Police Department for assisting us in this investigations. Our hearts go out to the family of Mr. Sambolin, who are facing an unimaginable loss. To be a victim of a crime at any time of the year is tragic, but if you think of the time between Thanksgiving and Christmas, especially with the children involved, which I'll talk about in a second, it's just absolutely horrible. I do want to point out that Mr. Sambolin was a tenured Los Angeles County employee, so he was part of our county family, who worked for the Los Angeles County Chief Executive Officer, who's standing right next to me and will be speaking next, as a project manager in our IT department. He is survived by his spouse and 2 sons, age 8 and age 10, and his mother. A couple of other things I just want to throw out there, because it is the holiday season and this horrible crime, and just as a reminder to our community members. We have seen countless videos and news coverages of individuals who have been traumatized by robberies and having guns and weapons pointed at them. It is unacceptable for our community members to be threatened in this manner, especially while driving in a safe place like their homes or businesses, or driving to and from these locations. Often these brazen individuals target people wearing flashy jewelry, driving fancy cars, or businesses that generate large amounts of cash. We urge the public to be aware of your surroundings at all times, whether in a vehicle or walking down the street. Look around, be vigilant, and don't be distracted specifically by continuously looking at your cell phone, which I think we can say we're all guilty of. You just got to be careful and remain vigilant. We have all experienced being an autopilot while doing normal things like driving home, sometimes not realizing the last 3 turns into your neighborhood. It is very important that you believe or suspect that you're being followed, that you drive to a sheriff station or a police station. Do not go home. If you have to, dial 911, and if possible, be a good witness. Take down the license plate or a vehicle description and know where you are at all times. We encourage the public to avoid predictable patterns, install proper lighting around your property, and consider a home security system. Lastly, please don't take any action that would jeopardize your own life or that of your family. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce our county CEO, Fisha Davenport, for some comments. Thank you.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Chief Executive Office, first of all, I'd like to thank the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department for their quick investigative work in making an arrest in this case. Nicholas Sambolin was a valued employee, as the sheriff indicated, of not just the County of Los Angeles, but of the Chief Executive Office. And his senseless death is a tragedy for our entire county family. Nicholas was a county employee for 7 years, and he joined our information technology staff in 2019 as a principal information systems analyst, after previously working for the Superior Court as a business systems analyst. And I'd just like to add a little flavor to that. Nicholas was key and instrumental in developing many software applications for the CEO's office to modernize our ability to manage for things such as like our $47 billion budget. He was key into developing applications, software that helped to propel the office forward, and also to help us meet our mission to deliver services to citizens and residents of LA County. He will be deeply missed by all of his friends and colleagues here at the county, specifically in the Chief Executive Office. We join together in extending our deepest condolences to his family. We would like to ask our partners in the media to please respect the family's privacy and wishes for privacy as they go through this very difficult time. We will continue to work closely with the Sheriff's Department as their investigation unfolds as needed in this heartbreaking act of violence. I would like to introduce at this point in time Sandra Maravilla Croxton, representing Supervisor Catherine Barger of the 5th Supervisorial District.
Good afternoon. I'm Sandra Croxton, Justice Deputy for Supervisor Catherine Barger. I would like to read a statement on the supervisor's behalf, who regrettably couldn't be here today, but would like to share some comments. Hearing of county employee Nicholas Sembolin's death was shocking, disturbing, and deeply tragic. He was a valuable member of our county workforce. For the past 7 years, Nicholas shared his talents with us. First, as a systems analyst for the Superior Court, then working as a principal IT analyst for our Chief Executive Office. He was a prolific developer who recently completed an innovative IT system to process our county's budget process. His coworkers describe him as kind, gentle, and hardworking person. The entire county family joins his loved ones in mourning his loss. He will be greatly missed. This abrupt taking of Nicola's life is enraging. Whoever committed this horrendous act will be held accountable. I applaud the outstanding work of our LA County Sheriff's Department. Their team acted swiftly, and in less than 48 hours, now have a suspect in custody. To the Sheriff's homicide detectives and the entire team involved in making that happen, thank you. Your invaluable work will help answer the lingering questions Nicola's family and the community at large have about why this tragedy happened. Your work helps us ensure that justice will be served. Thank you. I would now like to introduce San Dimas City Mayor Emmett Bader.
Thank you. First off, I'd like to thank the LA County Sheriff's Department and our partners from Beverly Hills. Sometimes we don't think of those things, but law enforcement encompasses a large spectrum. So thank you very much. I realize how fast this is, 48 hours. We have a suspect in custody, and everybody can move forward with making sure this investigation continues and is properly done and properly filed by the LA County District Attorney. One thing I would like to say is I want you to understand how important this is to the community of the city of San Dimas. I have all 5 of my partners here together, Councilman John Ebner, Councilman Nakano, Councilman Vienna, and Councilman Weber. In each of these folks realizing that public safety is a major primary concern of the city of San Dimas, they came down here today to let you know that we will continue to support law enforcement, and it's a major priority in the city, if not the most important. Our community has to be safe, and the only way we can do that is to provide the resources that the city can provide to any type of these investigations and the San Dimas Sheriffs. I just want to say that although I did not know the victim, he was a member of our family of the city of San Dimas, and we all have very heartfelt respect for what he was doing to be a member of our community and his family. And I want to just reach out and say, if his family needs anything from the city of San Dimas, all they need to do is pick up the phone and call, and that we will make sure that what we need to do, and with that respect. Our prayers are with the family, and we certainly want to know that the community knows and will be there to help support them. Thank you.
I will now take your questions.
Sheriff, regarding the charging station, how did your guys make that connection? Did you track back to where he was that day? Is that how that nexus was created?
First of all, we have amazing detectives. They go out and they do this. We've been up here very often talking about a lot of the great work that they do. when you get to a scene, you just start playing it backwards, and they start looking at every avenue. I don't want to get specifically into what they did. Why don't I want to do that? Obviously, we have the court case pending. We're going to present all the evidence at that time, or at least what we need to do with the DA's office. But at the end of the day, the more I put out, the next person who is thinking about committing this crime may try to avoid some of those things. So I'd rather not get into specifics other than to tell you that they did amazing work. They left no stone unturned, but that work continues as we're speaking. Let me go back here really quick, sorry.
Just a quick one. Did you say he leaves behind his mom or the mom of the two boys, his wife as well?
Yes,
His wife.
children of 8 and 10 years, and his mother.
And can you elaborate at all on, at the charging station, did he drive from San Dimas to the charging station and then get on a train and come back there, or was he sitting there, or can you talk a little bit about at the charging station?
From what I understand and the information, again, we're still looking at it, piecing it together. My understanding is transit from work down in this area up to the West Covina area to the charging station, and then from there home, where this crime occurred.
Was there anything in the way of video evidence or anything else near the family's home itself which enabled you to tie in the suspect to what happened in the garage?
Yes.
You want to elaborate a little on that one?
No, sir, not at this time. Other than I'll keep on going back to the detectives did a really good job of looking at every possible clue, step by step. And I think we all know there's video everywhere. And that's a big aspect of the job that we do today. It takes a little bit longer, but it's very effective, and we used it to arrest this suspect.
So the charging station is like a park and ride?
I got multiple questions coming at me. One at a time, please.
What you're hearing of what I'm saying, or hearing you say, is you have clear, defined video evidence putting that suspect in the location where the homicide happened.
We believe we have the right suspect in custody. We'll present the best case to the district attorney's office based on all the evidence we have. Let's go back over here.
So I want a couple, is it Mayor, how do you say your last name? Badar. Badar, okay, thank you. I'm wondering.
Like radar with the B.
Got it. I wonder if the mayor can tell us one thing, and whoever's here from Beverly Hills. The mayor, the crime in San Dimas that you're experiencing, are follow home something that you have had some experience with in recent times? And to the Beverly Hills representative, what was that scene like when you arrested him? Was he cooperative? What happened there?
The mayor will walk up and answer that question. Just from our statistics, the city of San Dimas is one of the safest communities that we have within. We're very proud to serve as a contract city. This activity that I'm describing today is highly unusual there.
Is the gentleman's name Powell or Powell, the suspect? Thank you, I'm sorry to.
No, not at all. Let me spell it out just to make sure. Jared, spelled Jerrid. Middle name of Joseph, Joseph. Last name spelled Powell.
Did you say Jerrid? ID?
On the first name?
Jared, yeah.
Jared is Jerrid.
ID.
Yeah, and I thought I'll let the mayor answer the question that was asked of him really quick. We have found no relationship between the suspect and the victim as of now.
I've been on the city council for the last 17 years and was associated with the city for several other years. And I can tell you that this is the absolute first follow home potential robbery that I'm aware of. And as the sheriff said, we're a very safe community. We're like any other city. There's going to be certain crime, small crime. This is large, and we all know that. So no, we're a very safe community.
Sheriff, can you, the personal belongings, are we talking jewelry, money, cash?
That's a great question, and for right now, I'm going to leave it at personal belongings until we get to court next week.
I guess was he on a shopping trip, or do we even know why he was specifically targeted then at that charging station?
That
It
is-
wasn't for the car, or?
That's part of the investigation right now, and we're hoping to lay out and put a story to this that honestly doesn't make sense to begin with.
Does he have a criminal record, this Jared in the system? Has this been maybe a other string of events you might tie him to, or?
Those things we're exactly looking at. We arrested him this morning, and the detectives have done a lot of work to get us to this point. There's still so much more work that needs to be done. We will follow up with all of you because those are all excellent questions that we should be able to put out here, hopefully in the next several hours.
And when you pulled him over, he was cooperative?
The Beverly Hills Police Department pulled him over, and they took him safely into custody, and that's why he's in our custody today.
Why did they pull him over?
They pulled him over because once our detectives, going back to the great work they did, were able to get a vehicle description and a plate. We were able to put that plate into our systems, flock systems, like automatic license plate readers. Those are everywhere. And I've got to tell our community, those are essential to solving crimes like this. As a matter of fact, I can tell you that that was critical in taking a very dangerous and violent person off the street because of that technology. Yeah, Beverly Hills did an amazing
So
job.
they spotted the plate on the LDR?
Yes.
LPR?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we talk about the prevalence of these follow home robberies? We covered one in West LA not too long ago, where a man had a concealed carry weapon and was able to fend off the intruders. Obviously, this wasn't the case in this situation. Can you talk about the increased frequency with which we're seeing these follow home type crimes?
We're very concerned anytime anybody is followed home in this manner. Obviously, we saw the outcome of this one. We investigate these along with all of our partners, whether it's the Los Angeles Police Department, Beverly Hills, or whomever else we need to work with. So that's why I gave the safety tips, just making sure that people are aware that these things do occur and to remain vigilant. Because a lot of times you're focused on just getting home, eating dinner, feeding the dog, whatever that may be. And we just have to pay a little bit more attention to where we're at in our surroundings, and then the steps I read off earlier about what to do. We do get these once in a while, and of course our detectives jump right on them, and in most cases we end up solving them because we're getting very good witness information, video information, and other technologies that we use.
Sheriff, 48 hours you make an arrest. Talk about how the technology and just good old-fashioned detective work either led you quickly to your suspect, or how did this all work with all the pieces falling in place in the arrest this morning in Beverly Hills?
Yeah, it starts with immediate response, which are and they know what they're doing. They start taking it step by step, trying not to miss anything. Obviously, there is technology available. It was asked earlier about video. Video was a significant aspect in this case, as it is with a lot of cases that we are able to make arrest on in this day and age. But again, I can't credit our employees, our detectives, for their quick response, their diligent investigation. It was relentless, and as you see, within hours, we have somebody in custody. And yes, that technology piece is critical. And I do mention it, and we'll mention it more, because there are critics out there, and I understand that with technology, we have to be held accountable with strict policies and make sure that we're using it right. But it also solves a lot of crimes, and it makes our community safer.
Sheriff Luna.
Give me a second. Oh, let me go over here. He had his hand up. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff Luna. Could you speak to how long it took between the time that the license plate reader detected the license plate of the suspect to how long it took to actually for the police department in Beverly Hills to arrest the suspect? What was the timeline between that, and how did the tracking of that plate work?
The hours I don't have with me. Again, I could follow up with you. It was hours, because remember, the plate may or may not have been identified that quickly. You're doing an investigation. Once you respond, we're working on trying to get any vehicle description, plates, or anything that is key in this investigation. And then once the detectives feel that they have the adequate information, we put it in a system. That's the system I'm talking about. And within hours, and I'll get you those hours, our partners in the general area, because we're all tied into these systems, are able to identify what was and the suspect who was arrested, armed, dangerous, and we're doing the investigation. What was he doing in Beverly Hills? He doesn't live there. Maybe he was looking for an additional victim. And the fact that the system alerted the Beverly Hills Police Department and they immediately responded or able to stop this vehicle, I believe they prevented another robbery at minimum, maybe another murder.
Para los medios en español, ¿nos puede decir unas palabras?
Do I have any other questions in English before I jump to Spanish? Yes.
Regarding was any of the personal property that was taken from the victim found in the subject's car or his residence?
Excellent question. I'm reluctant to answer that at this point. I could just tell you that we're very confident that we have our man, the right man, in custody, and when we get to court, we're going to lay that out. And again, I'm not doing it to avoid the excellent question. I'm doing it because at the end of the day, we have a responsibility to that family to get this man prosecuted and hammered and put away for a very long time. So that's why I'm kind of avoiding that one.
Is there a bail at this point? Is he got a bail?
We'll follow up with you on the bail.
Yeah, and also it was reported earlier that it was his wife that found him in the garage. Is that accurate?
I will follow up with you on that specific question. And just for no bail?
No, sir, I don't know bail.
Yeah, let me get back to you on the bail.
Appreciate it.
I would assume it's no bail, but I don't want to make the assumption either. Although I just said it on microphone, so, yeah.
Could you say it again, please?
No.
What time was the traffic stop and when was it exactly?
The traffic stop was done sometime this morning, and I will follow up with you with the specific time of when the Beverly Hills Police Department made that traffic stop, which our suspects arrested. All right, that's the last question I'll take in English, and then let me switch and try and translate everything.